Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So let's have a look at FLR or FLR coin. It's been a while since I've covered this coin, and if we look at the price of this coin, it has been doing pretty good, I would say, because it has been holding up quite well. And even if we look at its market cap, it's doing actually pretty well. So there is a lot of demand for this coin, as you can see here, and it's basically above 1.1 billion, which is a lot, I would say. Now if we try to check the listings of this coin, it is available on Coinbase, although it's not available on Bybit or on Binance, so that's a big thing. If it was available on Binance or even Bybit, I think there was a high chance the market cap would have been even higher. So if it ever gets listed on those two, I think the liquidity will be much higher than this, and there's a potential that market cap will be much higher anyways. Now if we go to the FLR itself, they have three products. They have called FLR assets, which are basically this is what the FLR assets are. I will just try to open them. So basically F assets bring non-smart contracts assets like XRP, BTC and Doge into DeFi. So they are doing the same thing like Coinbase as of now is doing. Basically the Coinbase is wrapping BTC, XRP, Doge and others on the base, and now FLR seems to be doing the same thing as of now. They have on their version 2, I believe, XRP is live, BTC and the Doge will launch soon. Now if we look at the Coinbase, the demand for the Coinbase product have been pretty high, especially if you look at the Coinbase wrap BTC. So it is unclear how much the demand will be for these products, but again FLR coin is required to actually mint these, so that's a pretty massive utility for the FLR coin, I would say. Now as of now they have around 749k of XRP minted as you can see here, and this is the total collateral. And as of now the Doge is on their previous, I would say, version, so they will be doing it on a new version as well, but the BTC is not live yet. So even if we look at the DeFi has actually boomed because of that, I would say, most likely. So even as of now, if you look at the DeFi, it is actually continuing, it is going up. So that means as long as they announce FLR BTC launch, I think the DeFi could actually go even higher. So that is a massive, I would say, W, and this massive demand is most likely from their FLR assets, and that is, I would say, pretty good. Now again there is a lot of demand for these kind of products, so I think that is going to be pretty good for the FLR coin. Now beside that, they are also in the Oracle as well. As you can see here, they have FLR data connector and FLR data time series Oracle. I'm not in depth on those. So if we talk about the recent news, they basically partnered with Bitco, which is a massive you can say custodian, so that's pretty good. They also partnered with Vivo Power, and FLR launched definitive strategic partner to deploy over 100 million in XRP for institutional deals, so that's a massive one. They also, as we talked about, they launched their version 1.1. so they have been doing a lot of developments, and I think that has shown in the TVL as well in the market cap, because market cap has remained quite strong, as you can see here. Now let's talk about its token. So it doesn't have a max supply, it is inflationary token, and it is a layer 1, so it is used for staking as well as data provision in the FLR time series Oracle. It is also used for the governance, and the transaction fees are all banned, so that's a massive utility, I would say. So as of now FLR is basically required to make transactions on a mainnet, so that's something you should know. Now the token basically came out in January 9, 2023, as you can see here, and initially there was 100 billion FLR tokens, out of which 58 went to the community, 22 FLR development, 2.1 banned bakers tokens, 16.7 to FLR team advisor and early bakers, so that's pretty good. Now they did actually lower the initial supply by 15 billion, so that's, I think now the supply was decreased, so that's pretty good. And from October 2024, around 66 million FLR token are being banned every month until January of 2026, so that is a massive, I would say, a supply reduction each month, so that's pretty good. Now if we look at other things, this is how it looks like. I'm not going in depth, it's going to be a pretty big one. Anyways, this is how the public distribution and inflation works. So the first 15% initial airdrop was distributed during the token distribution event. After that, the remaining 85%, the FLR drop, are being distributed over 36%. So that means the initial inflation was a lot, like 10%, now 7%, and it will grow as low as 5%. So this is going to be a bit of interesting, because if you look here, as of now we are around somewhere in month above, I would say 26 or so 24th, as you can see somewhere around here. So the supply as of now is in circulation is pretty high, around 67 billion. And if you just look here, by month 36, which is most likely going to be in I think by 2026, the supply will reach like 93 billion in circulation. That is going to be a lot. So that means there will be a lot of sell pressure on this coin, but it seems like that there is still a pretty good amount of demand for this coin as well. So I think if the TVL continues to grow for this coin, there is a high chance that the token actually could perform, but actually it does need to go above this above these levels if it wants to go up. But again, I think this token seems to be still it is in the downtrend. If it wants to go up, it does need to go above this trend line. So if it actually breaks out from here, there is a high possibility that the coin could actually perform quite well. And as of now, what I'm looking at, I think it needs to break out from this 400 EMA, and if it does break out, we are most likely heading higher. So if we look here, this is when it broke out in the past. Basically it actually ended up going from 1.4 cent to as high as 2 cents. So if it does break out from here, there is a high possibility that it could actually go as high as 2.2 cent. It does need to actually break out from this 200 EMA if it wants to go higher, and eventually if it is able to break out from this 3 cent level, there is a high chance that the coin could be actually heading towards 3.8. And I think once they announce the BTC, the FLR BTC launch, there's a high chance that there will be a pretty massive pump for this coin. Anyways, I think again, due to the supply increase, I think the coin will most likely see a pretty good sell pressure in the future. So I'm looking at levels like these, levels like 1 cent, or even below 1 cent, like 8.85 seems to be the pretty good point. But again, this is an uptrend that it has been holding quite well. So if it does go down from here, I'm expecting a pretty good rebound from around 1.1 cent. So again, this seems to be the level that the token is playing. So whether it will break out in the uptrend or downtrend, the coin will perform in that scenario. If it breaks out from the uptrend, we are most likely going higher, and if it does break out in the downtrend, we are most likely going down.